You're not exhausted because the road is long. You're exhausted because you forgot how far you've already come. Stop staring at the horizon. Look down. See the ground. You have conquered blisters, breeze, and all. That's not almost nothing. That's evidence. When you lead with lack, you move like a beggar. When you lead with proof, you move like a builder. Builders don't chase, builders choose. Today we flip the lens from what's missing to what's working, from desperation to domination, from fantasy to facts, your facts. Here's what you'll get in next minutes. A 60-second victory journal that locks in daily wins so your brain can't ignore them. Progress KPIs. Simple markers that turn tiny improvements into measurable momentum. The momentum loop. Gratitude, confidence, action, results. Repeat. Because the law is simple. What you focus on expands. Focus on the gap and the gap grows. Focus on your gains and your capacity explodes. You've already done hard things. Woke up when it hurt. Said no when it mattered. Kept going when nobody clapped. That wasn't luck. That was character. Character compounds like interest. And today, we make it compound faster. So breathe, shoulders back. You're not starting from zero. You are starting from evidence. Evidence becomes power. Power becomes posture. Posture becomes results. From this point on, you measure against one person. One, only one. And that's you. Yesterday counts your wins. Stack your bricks. Guard your focus. This is how confidence is engineered. Wealth mindset is forged and momentum becomes unstoppable. Ready? Stop chasing the finishing line. Honor the climb and watch how fast the mountain moves. Every morning, millions of people open their eyes and the first thought enters their mind is not gratitude, not strength, not possibility. It's deficiency. It's not there yet. I don't have enough. I'm still behind. The quiet whispers is a seed of exhaustion. It convinces you that no matter what you have built, no matter what you have endured, you're still not measuring up. And when you believe it, you walk through the day carrying an invisible weight heavier than any real burden. Here's the truth. You're not tired because your journey is too long. You're tired because your perspective is too narrow. You measure yourself against the mountains still ahead and ignore the cliffs you have already climbed. The illusion of not enough is the enemy of progress, and if you don't defeat, it will defeat you. Think about it. A man stands halfway up the mountain. His body is bruised, his hands raw, his legs trembling. If he looks only to the peak, all he sees is distance. All he feels is lack. But if he dares to pause, turn, and look behind him, he'll see valleys he once thought impossible. He will see storms survived, walls scaled, demons conquered. The same mountain that looked endless from the bottom now looks miraculous from the middle. But he must look back to realize it. The mind is a strange battlefield. It has two lenses, one that magnifies absence and the one that magnifies achievement. Most people unconsciously live through the first lens. They've trained themselves to notice only what is missing. More money, more status, more approval. They scroll through feeds of strangers and compare their behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. And then they wonder why they feel empty. They wonder why motivation leaks from their soul. It leaks because the focus is wrong. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on gap, the gap expands. If you focus on growth, you grow. Your strength expands. This is not a philosophy, it's a biology. Your brain is wired to strengthen the neural pathways you use most often. Every day you repeat, I'm not there yet, and your hardware dissatisfaction. If you practice saying, I have already grown stronger, your hardware Confidence. Confidence produces energy. Energy produces action, and action compounds into momentum. Let's make it practical. Think of a man building his health on day one. He can barely jog half a mile. He feels embarrassed, weak, behind. If he only measures himself against marathon runners, he'll quit. But if he notices, yesterday I couldn't jog more than a block. Today I did half a mile. He ignited pride. That pride releases dopamine, which fuels tomorrow's run over weeks. The runs stretch longer. The body grows stronger. The mindset becomes unshakable. He still hasn't finished the marathon, but he's no longer doubts he will. Why? Because his proofs is not the finish line. His proof is the progress. Or the picture of a young entrepreneur. Her first sale calls ends in rejection. Her voice trembles. Her hands shake. If she compares herself to industry giants, she feels like a fraud. But if she notices, yesterday, I was too afraid to dial the number. Today I tried. She records progress. A week later, she makes 3 calls. A month later, she closes her first client. The illusion of not enough would have told she was failing, but her focus on how far I have transformed failure into fuel. And this is why you must destroy the old mental blueprint, the one built on shame and lack, and replace it with a new one. Build a blueprint not on missing pieces, but on accumulated strength, not on chasing perfection, but on honoring progress. A man who measures by lack is always running on empty. A man who measures by progress is always building on proof. Here, sir, discipline to adopt. Starting today, every night before you sleep, write down 3 victories. Not the world's definition of victory, your definition. Did you resist a temptation that used to control you? Did you wake up earlier than before? Did you choose patience when anger was easier? Write them down. This is your victory journal. And over time, this simple ritual becomes your personal evidence file. When doubt comes, you open the file and remember, I am not who I was. I am further than a thought. Understand this. You will never silence the illusion of not enough by achieving more. Because the horizon always moves. The finish line always shifts. The applause always fades. The only way to silence it is to overwhelm it by evidence. Evidence of practice, evidence of progress, evidence of resilience, evidence of growth, and the evidence is already in your hands. So the next time you hear the whisper, you're still not there yet, answer it with fire. Maybe not, but I am not who I was yesterday. And that is enough proof to keep climbing. That is how the illusion of not enough dies. When you stop measuring by what is missing and start measuring by what is already built, imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. The same light that warms the whole world, when focused, has the power to ignite fire. This is the law of focus. And this is not only true in silence. It is the law that governs your mind, your progress, your wealth, your destiny. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But whatever the mind consistently focuses on, it multiplies. So if you dwell on the gap, the lack, the unfinished road ahead, the distance will stretch in your imagination until it paralyzes you. But if you dwell on the ground already conquered, the strength already built, the proof already earned, your confidence catches fire. Suddenly, you don't act from desperation, but from dominion. Think about your own life. The day you fixate on bills, debts, and obligations, what happens? Stress multiplies. Solutions hide. Energy drains. But the day you choose on assets, the skills you have built, the opportunities you have already seized, and the networks you have nurtured, you feel rich in resources. From that place of richness, new ideas emerges. Doors opens. People respond. The external Situation may be the same, but your focus changes the outcome. Here's the hard truth: most people are addicted to lack. They rehearse their problems until their problems become their personality. They meditate on failure until failure becomes familiar. They program their subconscious mind to notice only what's missing. And then they wonder why abundance never arrives. But the wealthy, the disciplined, the uncommon, they do the opposite. They train their mind to focus on progress. They keep mental score of victories, not deficit. And because they focus on growth, growth expands. This is why reflection is not optional, it is essential. To reflect is not to live in the past, but to mine the past for proof. Every scar becomes evidence, every obstacle survived become leverage. The moment you focus on that evidence, you trigger what I call the momentum loop. One, gratitude for what's already been achieved creates two. Confidence that more can be achieved, which leads to three. Action taken with energy and certainty, which produces four. Results that create more gratitude. Gratitude fuels confidence. Confidence fuels actions. Action fuels the results, and result fuels gratitude again. There is a cycle of expansion, and it begins not only with wishing but with focus. Take a man trying to build wealth. If he focuses only on the millions he doesn't have yet, he feels powerless, small, defeated. But if he focuses on the $100 he saved this week, the $500 he invested last month, the new skill he mastered this quarter, suddenly his perspective shifts. He's not behind, he's building. Each small act becomes evidence that he's capable. Evidence expands belief. Belief expands capacity, and capacity attracts opportunity. This principle applies to fitness, relationships, even character. A man who focuses on how impatient he still is will quit. But a man who notices, last year I exploded at every little thing, this year I've already walked away from 3 arguments, will per- persevere. His patience grows because his focus feeds it. Understand, this focus is not passive, it is an active decision. Every single day, your environment will tempt you to focus on the gap. Social media will magnify your deficit. The world will measure you by outcomes, possessions, applause. But wisdom says, measure yourself by progress, not with arrogance, but with accuracy. Here's a practical tool: the focus filter. Before you end your day, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I overcome today that used to defeat me? What did I create or contribute that wasn't there yesterday? What habit did I strengthen? Even slightly write the answers. This trains your mind to filter for growth, because what you focus on expense, you will start noticing more wins tomorrow. This is how you reprogram your subconscious. Your subconscious doesn't care why you tell it, it simply believes repetition. If you repeat, I'm not enough, it hardwires scarcity. If you repeat, I am further than I was, it hardwires abundance. This is how the wealthy think long before wealth shows up in their bank accounts. They focus on assets, not deficit. They focus on growth, not gaps. Remember, wealth is not just money, it's a mindset. Gratitude is wealth. Self defense, discipline is wealth. Integrity is wealth. And like compound interest, the more you notice it, the more it multiplies. So choose wisely. Every thought is a magnifying glass. Aim it at lack and you burn holes in your own confidence. Aim it at progress and you ignite fire that cannot be extinguished. The law is simple: focus forward without reflection and you collapse in lack. Focus on how far you have come, you expand in abundance. That is why, starting today, you must train your eyes, your thoughts, your language to honor the progress behind you, because the more you see it, the more you build it. The more you build it, the faster you climb. Momentum is invisible, but you can feel it. It is an unseen force that makes the next stop easier than the first. Thank you so much for listening. This is Bhaskar Yogacharya signing off. Keep listening for these kind of motivational talks.